to stop you. Just let me say one thing before you go. Come to me whenever you get lonely. Just reach out a hand and there I'll be. My love will light your way out of your darkness. If you ever need a true love, come to me. I believe time alone can change you. The changing tides will bring you back to me. So when you're tired chasing rainbows, just make a wish for love and there I'll be. Come to me whenever you get lonely. Just reach out a hand and there I'll be. My love will light your way out of your darkness. If you ever need a true love, come to me. Ooh, whoa. Whoa. Oh. Understand your feeling, to forget my own and let you go. Darling, I won't raise a hand to stop you. Just let me say one thing before you go. Come to me whenever you get lonely, pretty baby. Just reach out a hand and there I'll be. My love will light your way out of your darkness. If you ever need a true love, come to me. Come to me. Oh. Just reach out a hand and there I'll be. My love will light your way out of your darkness. If you ever need a true love, come to me. Come to me whenever you get lonely. Just reach out a hand and there I'll be. My love will light your way out of your darkness. If you ever need a true love, come.
All right, you just heard Come to Me by the one and only Richie C. Richie, thank you for taking the time and granting me and Caribbean Connections this fantastic interview. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome for having me, Caribbean. Welcome, connection.
Listen,
Welcome, Caribbean connection. Welcome.
you're welcome and
Thank
thank
you.
you. We are on the island of Newfoundland, and like today, we're seeing some hurricane tide force winds from Hurricane Elsa. What it's like in Toronto, are you getting the
It's,
effects?
yeah, we're getting the effects. It's kind of like chill today.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's chilly today.
I know. Well, we're hot, warm, not hot, but warm and humid. I like that. And I think
Mm.
it's so perfect and appropriate for us Caribbean folks,
Yeah,
myself from Guyana, you from Jamaica, to have this kind of weather to talk about the interview, your music, your life, how you get started, how you got started. So let's start at the beginning. Give us a little bit of history about growing up in Jamaica. I think you're from St. Elizabeth, right?
yes.
So give us a little bit of history of what it was like growing up on the farm, in the city, whatever. Tell us.
Yeah, well, I'm from a farming community, in Saint Elizabeth. and used to, do a little bit of farming, and you know, people always say, you can sing, you know, and I always say, what you mean sing? And say like Barry Salmon, Sanchez, you can sing because where I'm from, everybody do the same thing. They do farming, with a watermelon, onions, spring onion. They all do the same thing, you know. But it's a great community. It's a kind of breadbasket of Jamaica, you know.
Yeah. And I read that you said the open field and the fresh air were the perfect environment to practice and develop your singing, right?
Yes. After discovered by my cousin, you know, he passed off now, but
Oh.
discovered by him, you know what I mean? Because I couldn't tell no one that I'm a singer because there's no singer in my community.
So why do you feel you couldn't tell them, even though you sounded like you were pretty good back then at the young age?
Well, they will say I'm lazy, because everybody doing the same thing. Everybody doing the farming,
Yes, yes,
So I was scared to say I could sing, but discovered by my cousin said, you can sing.
yes. And I read you were encouraged by your family to perform at parties, community gatherings, and the church choir. So I know you were farming and working hard during the day. So when did you find the time to hone your skills and develop them at all of these events? Did you find some time, or was it very difficult to do?
No, it wasn't difficult, on the weekends, because the party is always there in Jamaica. At these little shops, you could hear the music, just blasting, So
Yeah.
on the weekends, so, I will go and develop a skill, you know what I mean? And until there was a big sound system came into my ear at the time. And they say, you must take the mic and sing, because you can do it. And that's where it started. And from that, there was no looking back.
So you got very positive feedback and vibes from the people you were singing for at the time.
Yeah, that's my family. They're the
Yeah.
one who encouraged me, say, you must go, go do this thing, go do this singing, you know. Uh,
Yes. And I learned that you first tasted success when you performed for the Black River Tourist Board in Jamaica. Tell
yeah,
us something about that. I want to
yeah.
know, man. This sounds
I
really
used
good.
to, yeah, the Black River Tourist Board, Homecoming St. Elizabeth. Those are some of the shows I will do, you know. So I develop a popularity, a very quick, and a likable person because I'm coming from the farming community. I'm down to earth already, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And what is the Black River Tourist Board all about? Because, as you know, having been in Canada for a long time, and we'll get into that more, a lot of North Americans and Europeans and folks from all around the world head to Jamaica. So, the Black River Tourist Board, what was that about? And were you singing for the tourists as well as the local folks there?
yes, the local folks and tourists as well, you
Yeah.
know.
We at the time, this is taking you back in time. At the time, where were most of your audience from then?
Yeah,
Say,
most of my audience is right here in St. Elizabeth, like different communities. Everybody will know me, who I am. So I was like a star there,
oh, I like that. I
Yeah.
like that.
I was like the
Uh,
people's star,
yeah,
like any big artist will come from Kingston.
yes,
They will always tell me, say, you know, make it to the city, and you'll be a great artist.
yes. Now, when they say make it to the city, were they talking about Kingston,
Yeah,
Jamaica?
Kingston. Yeah, Kingston.
So, for our listeners, in relation to Kingston and Ocho Rios, how far is St. Elizabeth from these places?
Yes, back then it was very far, you know.
Ah,
To us back then it was very far.
right, because
So and
you,
and and then I never have family in Kingston, so that's one of
mhm,
the somebody to stay with, you know. But
right,
true, as I said, growing up as a farmer, I never take it serious like the music business. I always have money, and most of these artists go into it for popularity and money as well. I was
mhm,
always, making a little money from the farm, you know.
right. And I mean, soon you were after you started at such a young age and you were gaining popularity, you were opening for Richie Stevens, Culture, Lady Saw, Singing Melody, Wayne Wonder, and many others. Oh my gosh, these are big names. What was it like singing and opening for these guys? So tell us roughly what period that was when you were opening for all these iconic singers.
Well, it's never. After I start to do it now, I come in like one of them. You know what I mean? I wasn't scared of anything because when you're in Jamaica and I start to do this thing now, so you want it bad. I want it so. I said this is what I want to do now. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
never too. I was thinking of myself as one of those artists.
absolutely. And I mean, you were, like you said, doing a lot of farming. So you always had a steady income. But did you ever leave the farming business and go full force into the music industry?
No, 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 never. Never,
And why,
never
why
really.
was that? Why would you not want to take that risk, as we would say?
Oh, well, as I say, moving to Kingston, and Kingston is very demanding,
Yes,
and as a country boy, I wouldn't take that risk. You know what I mean? So I just, staying there in St. Elizabeth.
yes,
But it was great, you know what I mean? Because you have a lot of shows. Sometimes we have a lot of shows there,
yes.
So it was
So
great.
how often did you travel, say, to Kingston? And a lot of tourists we know living in North America here go to Jamaica. Did you play at, like, say, the Rio and all these fancy resorts? Did you get an opportunity to go over there?
Yeah, I get the opportunity to play in Negril at Kaisers, but that's no more. I play in
Yeah,
Negril a couple of times with them
right.
couple big names too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I play with Dennis Brown,
Oh,
play with King
my.
Yellowman too.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so
So, I mean, I know the whole world knows about Bob Marley, and of course, there are many, many great reggae singers. So, did Bob Marley play a big role in your singing or in your attachment to the music industry, or your desire to go on further? At the time, he was with Bob Marley and the Wailers, like Bonnie Wailer, God bless his soul too now, passed away about a year ago. But did these guys influence you in any way to continue your singing and music?
yes, Bob Marley is the king, but I never really, you know, um, hear much of Bob Marley. You know what I mean? I never really hear much of Bob Marley. So one of my two favorite artists at the time was Barry Salmon and Tyrone Taylor.
Ah,
You know, but
abs-
Bob Marley is still the king, and he paved the way for a lot of reggae artists. You know what I mean? So
yes,
we have to give him that. But growing up, I most was listening to Barry Salmon and Tyrone Taylor. They was my two favorite artists at the time.
yes. So I'll tell you what, Richie, we're going to take a quick break and have our audience and our listeners listen to another fantastic track of yours. And this one is called My Destiny. Stay with us, folks. Don't go away, and we'll be right back.
Ooh, hey, yeah. Oh, hey. What if I never knew? What if I never found you? Never have this feeling in my heart. How did this come to be? I don't know how you found me, but from the moment I saw you, deep inside my heart I knew, baby, you're my destiny. You and I were meant to be. With all my heart and soul, give my love to heaven whole. And as far as I can see, we will always meant to be my destiny. Hey. I wanted someone like you, someone that I can hold on to, give my love until the end of time. But forever it's just a word, something I only heard about. But when you say forever, I believe. Baby, you're my destiny. You and I were meant to be. With all my heart and soul, give my love to heaven whole. As far as I can see, we will always meant to be my destiny. My destiny. Whoa, whoa, yeah. My destiny, baby, my destiny. Listen, I wanted someone like you, someone that I could hold on to, give my love until the end of time. But forever it's just a word, something I only heard about. But no, you're always there for me. When you say forever, I believe. Baby, you're my destiny. You and I were meant to be. With all my heart and soul, give my love to heaven whole. And as far as I can see, we will always meant to be my destiny. My destiny, my destiny, oh, my destiny, yeah.
Three, two, one. So, welcome back, Richie. That was My Destiny, another great track. Thank you, man. You got an amazing voice.
Thank you so much, sir.
Oh,
Thank you
you're
so much.
welcome. You're welcome. Now, we're gonna jump ahead a little bit. We know you went to school in Jamaica, right?
Hmm?
Yeah, you did your high school there and you worked, of course. We learned on the farm. What made you decide to come to North America and, in particular, Canada?
Well, I always love Canada and England, you know. And yeah, I always love want to travel one day, but Canada was England and Canada was the two country, and I make it to England and I make it to Canada here.
Yes. So Canada was always at the top of your list to when you left, if you were ever going to leave Jamaica, right?
Yeah, Canada was because you never hear nothing, always peace, You never
Yeah,
hear Canada, it's always a peaceful place.
yeah. And when talking to you, and I mean, you and I go back a long ways. At this point, I want to say a big shout out to Eric, my brother in
Sure.
law, who introduced us almost 20 years ago when you
Mhm.
practically first came. You arrived in Canada around 2000, right?
Yeah, around 2000. Yeah.
Yes, and Eric, my brother-in-law, Eric Lang, introduced us, and here we are. We did live in Ontario for a while and saw you on occasions, but it's been a long time since I've seen you, and I
Mhm.
still feel your music is wonderful. And I want to thank Eric for reconnecting us again, making this interview possible, sending me the tracks, the bio, all the pictures, everything. So big shout out to Eric.
Yeah, man. Sure.
Yeah. And coming to Canada, it would make sense that you would want to come here. And you mentioned earlier it was peaceful because back in Jamaica, in St. Elizabeth, you were farming. You weren't in the big city in the rat race running
No,
around.
no,
So,
no.
how did you feel when you arrived in Canada? And where did you arrive when you first came?
I first came to Mississauga, and from there, I said, this is the place I want to be. You know what I mean? Because it was so clean, and I just love it from the very first time come here and start to working. Then that time, that's how I meet up with Eric.
Yes, I remember that you met through work.
Yeah, we met through work. So one day I was just singing a Barry Salmon song,
E-
and
Eric told the story that you were singing
yeah,
and you stopped singing and he thought was the radio on
yeah,
and
he thought it was the
somebody
radio.
turned it on.
And I say, I said, it was me singing. He said, no, man, no, it can't be you a sing. And so, no, then no, he started talking patois. And I said,
I
what are
know.
you talking about? White man, they start talking a patois, you know? And I say, man, you need to come, to the West, You
Uh-huh.
need to, and right away, we just have a friendship and, he started to take me out and give me gigs out here in Calgary,
Wow.
you know? And
Yes.
Regina and Winnipeg, you know.
Yes, I read that you went to the Calgary International Reggae Festival and you performed numerous shows in Winnipeg, Regina,
Edmonton,
Saskatoon, Kitchener, Edmonton.
all over.
Tell us what this experience was like, and more importantly, like you became a staple on the reggae scene and on reggae radio shows quite quickly. How did you go about that? And how did you hook up with all these shows, Richie?
Yeah, because it wasn't long, that the news started to spread around, you know. Say, this guy have a good voice, you know. But coming here and like in Jamaica is not the same because you got to pay bills here. So I guess the job again take away a little bit of that again because I got to focus on the job, having kids now, and it's not like in Jamaica where you don't pay the rent and what I mean, not a lot of bills. So coming here, so that take away a lot from me again. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't take the chance. I'm not a person, you have to have a plan A and a B. You can't just say this is what you want and then know if that's not working out, what do you do from here? You know? But
Did
but
go on?
it's a great experience, you know what I mean? It was a great experience. I still able to work a job and juggle the music as well. And
Yeah.
the news just spread around fast. Well, in Toronto, it's just by friends like I meet some great people like a guy Spoiler Ranks, meet some great people in
Yeah.
in in the in the music business here, and the news just spread fast, and with Eric in the West too. So I was out of the West, and over here just lock up, for a time.
Yeah, well, he's been trying for us to connect on the show for quite some time, but we've had a lot of things going on, and with the pandemic, a lot of things were shut down. We weren't recording live, so we had a lineup of our guests, and here we are today. I'm so happy that we finally able to connect. And Richie, I mean, after you arrived in Canada, you were doing shows and opening with Freddie McGregor, Marcia Griffiths at Nathan Phillips Square in Toronto, and performing with is it Capelton at the
Yes,
Air Canada
international. Yeah,
Center?
remember? Yeah, Capleton and Genuine, Sean Paul,
Wow,
these guys. Yeah.
those are some pretty big names. So, how did you feel being on stage with all these guys who I'm sure you admired at one point and still do?
Yes, as I say again, I always got the confidence. That's when it comes towards the music. That's music is my first love, and music alone will live. You know,
Yeah,
I really enjoy music, singing, for the people. And so it wasn't a big deal for me when I see an artist from Jamaica, because I know I have the confidence and I can do pretty much as what they can do. Well, not true. I'm not a big name or a recording artist, but when you come across my talent, you say, well, this guy must be some recording artist.
well,
So
I think, sorry, go on.
I never really, I always have that confidence in,
Well,
in, in,
you are a recording artist in my mind because you've put out some pretty great tracks that are so fantastic. I love them. Oh my God. Especially the first one, Come to Me. Aretha Franklin's Come to Me. I mean, I remember growing up listening to that. My older siblings would play it, and it took me back in time. And you did such a great cover and such a
thank you.
great rendition. I love
Thank you.
it. I'm sure you're getting a lot of feedback from them, are you?
Yes, a lot of feedback in Jamaica, in England, Canada, all over, in America,
Yeah.
all over.
So, Richie, earlier you mentioned, you came to Canada. The reality is, you have to pay bills, you have a family, you got to juggle. And you and I both know when you're living in the GTA, Greater Toronto Area, the traveling is horrendous, it's expensive, housing, food, everything. So, how were you managing and juggling working and your singing and your family, being in a new country? How did you do it all?
Yes, because well, really is the energy, is the energy for the working, and then the energy for the music, you know. So like, everything is on the weekends here.
Okay,
So you're not working like on a Saturday or a Sunday or the long weekend, you know what I mean? So most
right.
shows will be on like a Friday night, a Saturday night, or a Sunday, when you're not working.
So, what are some of the clubs or other venues? I mentioned some here that you've performed at. If you,
Lots. There's so much, so much venue, so much dinner, dance, birthday parties, wedding, so much.
wow. So you do a lot of private
Yeah,
shows as
yeah,
well.
lots of private, like at the weddings, funeral. I do a lot of, you know,
Wow, that's fantastic, Richie. And I learned from Eric, my brother-in-law, your good friend, that you're also singing gospel music.
yeah, yeah. I love my gospel.
So how do you Do you add a bit of reggae flair into the gospel as
Yeah,
well?
that's what we do. You know,
Okay,
we will, and we will take the any one of these gospel songs,
right.
and bring it to, like, if you want, I could have give you a cappella for this one.
Yeah.
Sleep is gone, heart is full with sorrow. Can't believe much I've let you down. Dread the pain waits for me tomorrow. Sun reveals my broken dreams scattered on the ground.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, Richie. Oh, you almost made me cry. I like that. Oh, I mean, you really truly have an amazing voice, and I'm so happy you can share it with all of us, you know. Um,
Thank you so much,
lately,
Caribbean Connection. Thank you.
oh, you're welcome, Richie. I mean, one of the things I want to address, and then we'll have a good listen to one of your other fantastic tracks. During the pandemic, a lot of people were going through um, things in their lives. Things were shut down. People were suffering in many ways. Maybe they've lost their loved ones. Changes that we saw were incredible. I mean, we couldn't even handle it at the beginning. We didn't even know much what's going on. And many folks were trying to find peace and comfort and a sense of purpose and reasoning in their lives.
Mhm.
And you and I both know, and many folks, music is such an integral part of our being. And how did you, for me, I found music and reading and meditation and other things to help all of us. What did you do during this 17 plus months of the pandemic with your music? Because I'm sure you couldn't go out to perform anywhere. How did you feel about that?
Yes, first of all, I gotta say, thanks to the frontline workers, in Canada here and throughout the world, who helped through this rough and sad time. We have to, thank them first. Well, the same come to me, you know, I it was in the pandemic, and I went to the studio, and the guy said to me, say, I got to give that guy a lot of credit. I feel Joseph, he's a good producer who produced that song. He said, Richie, you're a good singer. And I just say, just give me a couple of minutes. I want you to sing this song for me and go around the booth. See him come to me. So I use the music, you know, as my tool, to get over these times. You know what I mean? So it's the music that kept a lot of people, and it kept me also, because that song. There's two great songs I did in this pandemic.
And what are they? Come to Me is one, and the other one is
Don't let the sun go down on me.
which we're gonna play to close it off. But on that good note, we want to hear your amazing voice and talent. So we're gonna take another quick break, and we're gonna hear "Hard to Be Away," "Dream of Me" by the one and only Richie C.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ooh, baby, how lady, yeah. It's hard to be away from the one you love when your days are slowly drifting by. But my darling, I'll be home in your arms where I belong. So I'm sending you this poem from my heart, yeah. Dream of me when you're lonely. Dream of me when you're sad. 'Cause darling, I want you only. You're the sweetest, sweetest girl I ever had. Although we are many, many miles away, you're always in my aching heart. But my darling, I'll be home in your arms where I belong. So I'm sending you this poem from my heart, yeah. Dream of me when you're lonely. Dream of me when you're sad. Darling, I want you only. You're the sweetest, sweetest girl I ever had. Oh, no, baby. Ooh, yes, 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 my lady. Woman, I love you. Woman, I love you, yeah. Oh, it's hard to be away from the one you love when your days are slowly drifting by. But my darling, I'll be home in your arms where I belong. So I'm sending you this poem from my heart, yeah. Dream of me when you're lonely. Dream of me when you're sad. 'Cause darling, I want you only. You're the sweetest, sweetest girl I ever had. Ooh, oh baby, oh lady, yeah.
Welcome back. And Richie, thank you for staying with us and telling us about your music and your life. We just heard Hard to Be Away, Dream of Me. That's another fantastic song. What was going through your mind when you sang this?
Well,
And
when I sing "Dream of Me" all the time, you know what I mean. I always, when I perform that song live, I always say, coming to Canada, you must miss somebody from, you must left a granny or something, in Jamaica. So you say it's hard to be away from the one you love. You know what I mean?
yes. Mm.
So I always say that it's hard to be away from the one you love. So you
Aw.
know, so you in this country, you must left a granny, your mother, somebody in Jamaica.
Absolutely. And we all can relate to that. Many of us who've had to leave home and
Mm-hmm.
come away. What is your family saying about you getting in on the music scene here in Canada?
Yes, everybody always, everyone I got a group of guys not my workplace. Them
Yeah,
always encourage me, and you know, my wife also, she's encouraged me as well. So,
absolutely. And I mean, when you released the single, Hard to Be Away, it just skyrocketed up there on the charts all across Canada, pardon me, the USA and the UK, and as well as Come to Me. How did you feel, Richie?
well, I feel great, I mean, to for share something what I love to others, you know what I mean? Feel really great, that someone could listen, and it's a great joy to me when I'm on stage and making music, good music, where people can listen to and have fun, because that's what it's all about when it comes down to it. Just life is just to eat, drink, and be merry.
Yeah. Well, you said the operative word, good music, right? There's a lot of music out there, and not to put anyone down or marginalize anyone. Some people relate better to certain kind of music. Some people think certain folks are better singers. So good music is, I guess in the ear of the beholder, right? What I may like, someone else may not, you know?
Well. If you check the streaming through the pandemic, it's still Bob Marley was still leading streaming. Bob Marley was still the leading reggae streamer in the world.
Wow.
So, and that's how much years, 30, 40 years, and he's still the number one.
Look at
So when
that.
you make music for last.
Good point. Yes. And Richie, you have a family now. So are you encouraging your kids? I know you're a big influence on them, I'm sure, but are you encouraging them to get into the music field and industry as well?
Well, not really. My daughter, she's a dancer, and
Right.
she was telling me that my son could sing, but he kind of shy. She was, so my daughter is 20 and my son is 21. But she said, my son have a really good voice, but I never really hear him sing. But
No.
I see my daughter. I saw her dance already. She's a good dancer, trust me.
Yes,
Really.
absolutely. Yeah. So in a way, they're kind of following in your footsteps. I mean,
Hmm.
all in the arts and entertainment, right?
Yes.
So Richie, you've been in Canada almost 2 decades now, right?
Mhm.
Um, how has the music industry treated you? And do you see up and coming artists like, say, born in Canada who want to get into reggae and gospel reggae and coming from Jamaica? What are your feelings about that for these young guys, or what women too, trying to get into the business?
Yeah, just say do it, because the music alone shall live and music have to go on. And while we're getting older, there's younger talent, you know what I mean, coming into the music business. So
Mhm.
like, you have a lot of artists that passed away, and the reggae is still good. You know what I mean? The music is still going on.
Absolutely. And what advice would you have for some of them who are trying to, as you did, you want to have a steady full-time job, but you still want to pursue the music, and that could be quite overwhelming and a handful at times, and it may make one more inspired, and it may make some give up. What are your words to them and your advice?
Never give up. And don't let anyone tell you cannot do it. Never give up. If you have to juggle the 9 to 5 to survive, make sure you put in some music as well. And because that's what happened. I was just here long time, never recording anything, never record until record come to me, and everything just coming like I'm just started again.
Yeah. And you said your cousin discovered you. He heard you singing and your
Yes,
family encouraged you.
yes. I was always singing, always singing. And my cousin said, "You have a good voice," because I
Yeah.
never know what it is, what he was talking about. But he was older than me, and he knew everything. He said once you can get a backing band, or the next side is the flip side, is the dub, and you can connect with it. You can be a great artist.
Yes. And your voice or your singing has been best described as enigmatic, smooth, and captivating. How do you feel about those powerful words, speaking of your voice?
Well, it's a gift. It's a gift from God, and I don't feel anyway. It's like different from anyone else. I just use it because it's a tool and God give it to me, and I want to use that tool to make people because if you know music satisfy it, it fills, it hurts, it calms, music is everything, you know.
Absolutely. Well, isn't that what William Shakespeare said? If music be the food of love, play on. And
That's right.
coming from the Caribbean too, we've heard so many different genres of music. And coming to Canada, I was actually amazed how popular reggae is outside of the Caribbean. That surprised me. But it didn't surprise you, did it, when you came and
No,
saw?
no, no, it never surprised me at all. And I love all genre of music. Calypso. I love all because we have it all in Jamaica. I
Yeah,
love all kind of mento. I love all kind of music, you
right.
know. You
Yeah.
know, but reggae is reggae is a music where you know it carry a lot of it's a heavyweight music,
I like
so
that. Heavyweight
it's a heavyweight
music.
because it got so much, it got so much different branch in the music, so it's a heavyweight. It got dancehall, it got what I
Yeah,
mean.
exactly. That's a good point. When we think of reggae, we may think of one thing. Some folks right away they say Bob Marley, but
Yeah,
like you just pointed out, there are different branches
yeah,
of
man. There's lots
reggae.
of branches of reggae
Yeah,
because you have other cultures is doing reggae now. It's doing in all over the world. It's in Japan,
absolutely.
it's in Europe. Lots of people.
Oh my gosh, totally. So I have a question for you. I mean, we talked about a few singles here that became very big hits, but Aretha Franklin's 1980s classic that we opened up the show with, Come to Me, what were you thinking of when you did your rendition, and why did you choose to do Come to Me? I mean, I love it. I think it's the best rendition ever.
Well, I always did love that song, and as I said, when I went to the studio, the guy said, "Listen, I have something which can fit your voice." So and said, "Listen, you just go around the booth there. I got everything covered." And I just started to sing. You asking me to understand your feeling, to forget my own and let you go. Darling, I won't raise a hand to stop you. Just let me say one thing before you go. Come to me whenever you get lonely. Just reach out a hand and there I'll be.
All right. Oh my gosh. Live. Is it live or is it Memorex?
Right.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Richie. That was good to hear again. So I know we're pressed for time and you got a lot going on. But before I let you go, to wrap it all up, and here we are living on the island of Newfoundland and Labrador. You're in Toronto, well, Mississauga, Brampton
I
area.
want to visit one day. I want to
I
visit.
want
Would you invite me one day? I never been.
I want you to come, Richie. You would love it. Seriously, you would love it. It has a quite a Caribbean feel in many ways. The rum, the Demerara rum is here.
Yeah,
I always like to tell that story, but
yeah.
hopefully one day we can see each other on the island, God
That will
willing,
be
right?
great. That will be great. I'm ready.
Absolutely. So, how would you like to wrap up today's chat? For our listeners here on the island of Newfoundland, the island of Jamaica, Guyana, Trinidad, all over the world, in Toronto, Europe, the USA, what do you have to tell our listeners?
Just keep positive. keep safe, upliftment, you know, and put God first, and everything will come after. Keep safe, upliftment. Always bring the positive, no negativity into anything. Positivity is the key.
Yeah, well said, Richie. I couldn't have said it any better. And I want to thank you so much for your time today, for giving us the opportunity on Caribbean Connections. And it certainly feels today, at least where we are, with these hurricane winds and the warmth that's coming with the Hurricane Elsa. I feel like we're on a beach in Jamaica, man.
Yeah, man. Yes.
Yeah. So I want to thank you. Thank you for the time, for telling us the story, for the insights, and for lending us your voice. Oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, Jenny. Thank you so much. And thank you, Caribbean Connections, for having Richie C. I hope to see you guys soon one day, in that beautiful island,
I hope so too. You know, they say where there's a will, there's a way, right?
Newfoundland and Labrador. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Absolutely. So, Richie, our last song here, track by you, Elton John's classic from the 70s, 80s, Don't Let the Sun Go Down. I want you to introduce it. Tell us why you did it. And I know there are a couple singers in there. Introduce the song and who's singing with you and all of that.
Well, it's funny, he's a producer again. He called me, say he got this girl, and Tish Campbell, and yeah, Trish, yeah, sorry, Trish Campbell, and I come in the studio, and he got the track, and she lay her part, and I lay my part, and that was it, because that's my second single now with this producer. So and it's great. I love this producer because this guy is taking me on a different level that I never have been before.
Yeah,
So
it's
actually, I say she's my cousin because I'm Richie Campbell. I'm Richard Campbell, and she's Tish Campbell.
yes, yes. So you are related, yes or no?
Well, we're not, but I just say
Okay.
Campbell and Campbell.
Yeah, I know. And I was going to mention, yeah, your real name is Richard Campbell,
Yeah.
but your stage name is Richie C. You go
Well,
by
that's where
that,
that's
right?
where that's where that's where the Richie C come from.
Exactly,
Richard
exactly.
Campbell.
Oh, wow, Richie. Well, I mean, I really want to thank you. We've had a great chat here. It's been a great afternoon. I love it. I learned so much more about you and I got to hear your voice again. Thank you for the live performances.
Thank you, sir.
You're
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. And we're gonna don't let the sun go down. Take us out with this beautiful chat. And this track is by Richie C. Don't let the sun go down. Enjoy, folks.
I can't lie, no more of your darkness. All my pictures seem to fade to black. the way of life. But you misread my meaning when I met you. Close the door and left me blind by the light. Oh, don't let the sun go down on me. Although I search myself, it's always someone else I see. I just allow a fragment of your life to wander free. Oh, but losing everything is like the sun going down on me.
I can't find the right romantic